Erling Haaland has scored more World Cup goals in 4 matches than most legends score in an entire career of tournaments. 7 goals, 4 games, and Brazil are out because of him. That sentence shouldn't make sense. Norway hadn't been to a World Cup in 28 years. Small country, tiny population, no tradition of winning anything at this level. And yet here they are, in the quarterfinals, built almost entirely around one man. So the question isn't whether Haaland is good. Everyone already knows that. The real question is bigger, and it's the one football has spent decades avoiding. Can one player actually win a World Cup by himself? Norway's history says no. Go back to 1938, their first ever World Cup appearance. Italy scored inside 2 minutes, the reigning champions cruising, and then Norway equalized right at the end of normal time and dragged them into extra time before finally losing. In 1994, back at the World Cup for the first time in 56 years, they beat Mexico, then went a man up against Italy for over an hour after a red card, and still lost. On the final day, they could only draw with Ireland, and finished bottom of the group purely on goals scored. Then 1998, their best campaign by far. They drew twice, then faced Brazil, the reigning world champions, already qualified and expected to cruise. Norway went behind with 15 minutes left. They equalized. Then, from the penalty spot, they completed the comeback and beat Brazil. It sent them through to the knockout stage, where they ran into Italy for the 3rd time in 3 tournaments and lost again, 1-0. 3 tournaments. 3 heartbreaks, always at the very last step. A nation with pride, with genuine moments against genuine giants, but never a nation built to go all the way. That's the team Haaland inherited. Not a golden generation, not a tactical revolution, just him. And the warning signs were there long before anyone in Norway wore the senior shirt with real hope. In 2019, at the U20 World Cup, Haaland scored 9 goals in a single match against Honduras. 9 in 1 game. No one has matched that number at any FIFA tournament since. That wasn't a highlight. That was a threat. What happened next is the part people forget, because it wasn't instant. In 2020, he scored 6 in 5, mostly first-touch finishes, a striker learning to be ruthless. In 2021, he added another layer, attacking the space behind defenders. 6 goals in 8 games, built on timing rather than raw finishing. By 2022, after his move to the Premier League, the numbers jumped again, 9 goals in 8 games. And the danger in every run against Slovenia, Armenia, and Serbia was obvious. Defenders punished for the smallest hesitation. In 2023, he added 6 more, and by then, a Haaland goal for Norway had almost stopped feeling like news. Then came 2024. 24 goals in 16 matches, a hat-trick against Kosovo in a friendly, goals against Austria and Slovenia in the Nations League. A hat-trick against Kazakhstan that got Norway promoted a division. He wasn't improving anymore. He was accelerating. Then qualifying started, and it stopped looking like a story about a good striker. Haaland scored in every single qualifying match he played. 17 goals in 9 games. Norway scored 38 goals across the whole campaign. He was responsible for almost half of them, alone, against defenses that had a full year to prepare for exactly one threat. Which brings us to the World Cup itself, where all of that was supposed to get tested against real pressure, against defenses that had months to build a plan around stopping one man. Against Iraq, 2 goals and an assist. Against Senegal, another brace. The first was pure patience, waiting until a defender dropped off before attacking the space he'd left behind. The second was pure instinct. Surrounded by 4 Senegalese players, the pass arriving awkwardly, and Haaland still rotating his hip mid-air to guide it in first time. Against Ivory Coast, the winning goal, touching the ball inside the opposition box only 5 times all match and scoring with 1 of them. And then Brazil. 2 goals. The tournament favourites, eliminated by a country of 5 million people. Here's what makes it stranger. Watch him for long stretches of any of those matches and he barely looks involved. He walks. He drifts along the last line doing almost nothing, staying just onside, waiting. Then the ball moves once, and everything about him changes in half a second. Against Brazil, his second goal came from that exact stillness. He received the ball upright, relaxed, giving the defenders no warning at all. Then one shift of his hips and the shot was already past them. That's not power. That's reading four things at once: the defender, the space, the ball, and the exact moment. None of them are protected. The numbers back it up in a way that almost nobody talks about. At this World Cup, Haaland has scored with over 7% of his total touches. Among players with 60 or more touches at a single World Cup since 1966, nobody has ever come close to that rate. 15 of his 16 shots across 4 matches were first-time finishes. Against Brazil, he only touched the ball 30 times in the entire game, the same number as a teammate who got substituted for barely affecting the match. And yet those 30 touches decided the game twice. He isn't creating chances through skill or dribbling. He's finishing them before defenders even register the danger exists. So go back to the real question. Can one player carry a nation with almost no World Cup tradition to the very top of the sport? If Norway wins this, it isn't just a trophy. It rewrites the reason people gave for Cristiano Ronaldo never lifting one with Portugal, a small footballing nation just like this one. It undercuts every argument built around Lionel Messi needing Argentina's entire generation around him to finally win in Qatar. It reaches Lamine Yamal, supposedly the next great one, still chasing his first World Cup. And it reaches Mbappe and a French squad built to compete without a single obvious weakness, the kind of squad depth Norway simply does not have. Haaland already reached 60 international goals faster than Messi, 69 matches quicker, and faster than Ronaldo too, by 76 matches. Those aren't small margins. But none of that settles the actual argument. Norway still have to win 3 more matches against the best teams left in the tournament, and history has punished this country in exactly these moments before. In 1938, in 1994, in 1998. So the question isn't whether Haaland is the best striker alive anymore, that's already decided. The question is whether football has been lying to itself this entire time about what one player can do, or whether nobody has simply ever had a player like this before. Right now, nobody actually knows the answer. Norway are still playing.